Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So nothing really going on at the moment. We are still sideways, but there are some really interesting situations at the moment, and I think we really need to pay attention to them right now. So first things first is we are sideways, but we are sideways to, how do I put it, there's sort of some structure forming there, which I'll get to on the lower time frames. And on the daily, we've got a bit of a crossover, which is indicating we should be looking for a move up. We're above the moving averages. We're in an uptrend, and this is what we should be doing. We should be looking for opportunities to buy. Problem that I have is that we are just forming a series of lower highs. And you can see the last 4 days has pretty much been forming a series of lower highs. Now, if we move to the 3-hour, you're going to see something fairly significant this week, and that is the 155 EMA. Have a look at how we are tracking the 155. Now, for me, in my strategy, the 155 EMA indicates that the direction of the trend. So on the 3-hour, the trend is down. On the daily, the trend is up. And on the weekly, the trend is up. And there's the 155 there. Also, the further you get away from the 155, the further price gets away from 155, the higher the probability that you're going to have some kind of a pullback to come and test one of these moving averages. Interestingly, on the weekly, you can see we've got a crossover over oscillators. I need to see them below the 80 before I pay attention to that, but the crossover and starting to point down is starting to indicate that we have something brewing here. What I do want to do is just highlight the weekly low. So that's what I'm looking for there, 15,456. Okay, let's get down to the levels that we need to be paying attention to. Right, so that is our weekly low. We tested it, when was that? That's basically the weekly low. So we tested it last week, obviously. We haven't come anywhere near it this week. There is a massive gap to the downside. Let's just get that in as well. There it is there. And that's not something I want to be trading. That is sideways. Look at my oscillators, just grouped in the middle of nowhere, rejecting the 155 EMA. Now look at it on the hour. We are sideways, but we are still rejecting the 155 EMA. So we are pretty much forming a series of lower highs, and at the same time, let me actually go back to there, we are forming a series of higher lows. Oscillators not offering us any opportunities. The moving averages are not giving us any indication of what's going on. This is just treading water right now. Now, the significant levels today to watch for are, firstly, this gap, okay, 15,554, and then secondly, this previous week's low. Now, if I look at the Dow Jones, and the DAX typically tracks the Dow Jones almost point for point. The Dow Jones is not looking very pretty. There's some pretty decent bearish setups that are brewing. They're not completed yet, but they are brewing. And this setup that you see here is a coin cost. So you might as well just toss a coin to see which direction it's going to head. So we are sideways. We are in amongst the moving averages. The only bearish signal that we have here is that we are tracking below the 155 EMA on the 3-hour and on the 1-hour. But ultimately, that is sideways for me. I'm going to need to see a break one way or the other before even getting into this. And I'm not looking for longs until I see moving average crossovers, both moving averages cross over the 155, so the 33 and 66 to cross over, and price come back and test it and hold it before I start looking for longs. Shorts, any break and retest of structure to the downside is going to get me short, and possibly short over the weekend as well if it happens today. But it will be a small position, and my stop area is going to be above the high point of this triangle at 15,784. So that's kind of the view I've got at the moment, just from a glance, but I'm really not interested in jumping in when price is doing what it's doing now. It's just a recipe for losing money and just damaging your psychic. So anyway, that's kind of my ramble this morning. We are sit on the side, sitting on our hands, but paying very close attention. Just coming back every hour or so, just to have a look at the chart and see if we have any movement, because I am anticipating a move to the downside here. Anyway, I hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you on Monday morning. Cheers for now.